Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of City Council on Monday, March 25th, 2024. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland. Here. Mr. Coghill.
Here.
Ms. Gross.
Here.
Mr. Mosley.
Here.
Mrs. Kale Smith. Mrs. Strasburger.
Here.
Mrs. Warwick.
Here.
Mr. Wilson. Mr. Lavelle, President.
Here.
7 members present.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you. Our next order of business is to amend the agenda. Is there a motion to amend?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The agenda has been amended. The next order of business is proclamations. We have one to be read into the record by Councilwoman Smith.
Councilwoman Smith presents, be it further resolved, that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Friday, March 29th, 2024, to be National Vietnam War Veterans Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Proclamation has been approved. Next order of business is will of council, and I believe we have two from Councilwoman Gross.
Councilwoman Gross presents, be it further resolved, that a copy of this resolution is distributed to the offices of Senators Bob Casey and John Fetterman and Congresswoman Summer Lee. In Bill 314, Councilwoman Gross presents, now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh hereby urges the U.S. House and Senate to pass Senate Bill 3692, preventing the algorithmic facilitation of rental housing cartels Act of 2024. Be it further resolved that a copy of this will of council will be distributed to the offices of Senators John Fetterman and Bob Casey and Congresswoman Summer Lee.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Both wills of council have been approved. Our next order of business is public comment. I would like to remind everyone that the rules of council state that comments are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation which may be before city council, and profanity is not permitted. After your name is called, please restate your name, provide your neighborhood for the record. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak. Our first registered speaker is Dr. Ronald Lynn Miller, who I do not see with us and is not online. Our next speaker is Alan Gunther. Mr. Gunther, if you would go to the podium, please. Thank you.
You may recognize this picture before I start my remarks. This is from Keith Edmonds' body camera. Keith Edmonds is the person who tased Jim Rogers before he died. Okay, hello, I'm Alan Gunther, and I'm a convener of the Pittsburgh Peace is Possible Coalition, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. I'm here to support the national NAACP's call for a federal investigation into the death of Jim Rogers. As you can see on this poster, which is a screenshot captured from former Officer Keith Edmonds' body camera, Rogers, a 54-year-old black homeless man, was completely compliant, passive, and afraid of Edmonds, even before Edmonds fired his taser 10 times at this man. Before the last council meeting, our group, which includes members of the First United Methodist Church in Bloomfield, the Pittsburgh Quakers, the Black Political Empowerment Project, the Pittsburgh Universal Unitarian Church and Ceasefire PA, and many others. We asked Mayor Gainey to fight the arbitration decision announced on March 8th to reinstate Edmonds to the police force. In just 10 days, we collected more than 350 signatures from our groups and congregations asking the city to fight Edmonds' reinstatement. Today, we are writing to the U.S. Department of Justice to support the NAACP's call for a federal investigation, and we are asking the city to postpone reinstating Edmonds until such an investigation is complete. After viewing the 42-minute video of how the police mistreated Jim Rogers, and especially after watching Keith Edmonds bully this man, taser him, bloody him, and roll him across an asphalt street, we find it hard to believe that an unbiased federal investigation, free from local politics, would exonerate Edmonds. A man is dead because he took a bicycle for a ride and returned it. We think that's appalling and wrong. To reinstate the man who fired his taser at Edmonds sends a terrible message that police brutality will continue to be tolerated. We fully expect Kristen Clark, the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, will grant the National NAACP's request, and we ask that the city take no action to reinstate Edmonds until this federal investigation is finished. Thank you for your attention. Mayor Gainey was right when he fired Edmonds, and we hope that you will support the common sense course of action to wait until the federal investigation is complete. And thank you.
Thank you. That exhausts our list of registered speakers. Is there anyone in chambers wishing to speak? Anyone in chambers wishing to speak? If not, our next order of business will be the presentation of papers, beginning with Councilman Charlin, Chair of Human Resources.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Safety and Wellness.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
Mr. President, I'm not able to see my agenda at this time. I'm not sure if I have papers or not.
You do not.
Thank you, Mr. President. No new papers.
Thank you. Councilman Mosley, Chair on Intergovernmental Educational Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilman Mosley presents Bill Number 297, Resolution authorizing the Director of the Department of Finance and the Director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to execute instruments for the declaration of restrictions and covenants in favor of the Allegheny County Sanitary Authority to allow the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority operation and maintenance responsibilities of green infrastructure within certain property along the Bus Rapid Transit Project corridor, and 298, resolution providing for a reimbursement agreement or agreements with the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority for costs associated with the North Avenue Signals and Safety Project, where PWSA would be responsible for paying 100% of the actual expenses involved in certain work to be described in the agreement.
Thank you. And if we could have Councilwoman Strasburger on behalf of Councilman Cale Smith, who is the Chair of Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Teresa Kell Smith presents Bill Number 311, resolution transferring the amount of $10,000 within the 2024 operating budget from City Council salaries and wages, regular, to council as a body for the purpose of professional services.
And then Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Finance and Law.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilperson Strasburger presents Bill Number 299, resolution authorizing the mayor and the city solicitor to enter into an agreement or agreements with Thomson Reuters for subscription to an online legal research tool at a cost not to exceed $133,010.28 over a term of 4 years. Bill 300, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Diana Stephenson and her attorney Phillips and Smith Delac PC for a single payment in 2024 in an amount not to exceed $11,000 in full and final settlement of litigation filed in the Allegheny County Court of Common Pleas. And Bill 301, resolution further amending Resolution Number 857 of 2023, effective December 27, 2023, as amended, entitled Resolution adopting and approving the 2024 capital budget, the proposed 2024 community development program, and the 2024 through 2029 capital improvement program by increasing P.J. McCardle Roadway Bridge over Hillside by $750,000, increasing P.J. McCardle Roadway Bridge over Sycamore by $600,000, increasing Bloomfield Bridge by $1,200,000, and increasing East Sycamore Street Bridge by $600,000 to account for Federal Highway Administration funding being received at no cost to the city.
And Councilwoman Warwick, Chair of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Oh, sorry. And before we read those bills, Councilwoman Strasburger, do you want to waive rule 8 on Bill 299?
Thank you. I would like to make a motion to waive the rules of council so that Bill 299 appears on this afternoon's agenda.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The bill will be on this afternoon's agenda.
Thanks for catching that.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Warwick presents Bill number 302, resolution providing for a reimbursement agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for costs associated with the preliminary design phase of the P.J. McCardle Roadway Bridge over Sycamore project, providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $600,000, reimbursable at 100%. This resolution serves to authorize only the reimbursement agreement or agreements at no cost to the City of Pittsburgh. Future resolutions will authorize the project-specific service agreements. Bill 303, resolution providing for a reimbursement agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for costs associated with the preliminary design phase of the P.J. McCardle Roadway Bridge over Hillside project, providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $750,000, reimbursable at 100%. This resolution serves to authorize only the reimbursement agreement or agreements at no cost to the City of Pittsburgh. Future resolutions will authorize the project-specific service agreements. Bill 304, resolution providing for a reimbursement agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for costs associated with the preliminary design phase of the East Sycamore Street Bridge project, providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $600,000, reimbursable at 100%. This resolution serves to authorize only the reimbursement agreement or agreements at no cost to the City of Pittsburgh. Future resolutions will authorize the project-specific service agreements. Bill 305, resolution providing for a reimbursement agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for costs associated with the preliminary design phase of the Bloomfield Bridge project, providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $1,200,000, reimbursable at 100%. This resolution serves to authorize only the reimbursement agreement or agreements at no cost to the City of Pittsburgh. Future resolutions will authorize the project-specific service agreements. And Bill 306, resolution providing for a reimbursement agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for costs associated with the preliminary design phase of the City Steps project and providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $850,000, reimbursable at 80%, and the municipal share of Commonwealth incurred costs at a cost to the City of Pittsburgh not to exceed $10,000.
And Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development. Thank you, Councilman Warwick.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill number 307, resolution amending resolution number 711 of 2022, further amending resolution number 767 of 2018, authorizing the mayor and the director of permits, licenses, and inspections to enter into an amended agreement or agreements with Apollonia for on-call emergency geotechnical services, including assessments, evaluations, land remediation plans, and expert testimony of property subject to active life safety code enforcement violations by increasing the approved amount by $20,000 for an amended total cost not to exceed $360,000 over 3 years.
Thank you. And on behalf of myself, if we could read the communication first.
Council President Lavelle presents Bill number 310, communication from Jake Pollack, Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting a donation from Open Field of 2 sets of soccer goal to be placed in Dunbar Park, valued at $3,983.97.
If we could have a motion to read, receive, and file.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And now the two appointments.
Bill 308, resolution appointing Ty Stana Jones as a member of the Board of License Inspection and Review with a term to expire January 1st, 2027. And Bill number 309, resolution appointing Chris Hornstein as a member of the Commission on Infrastructure, Asset Reporting and Investment with a term to expire June 30th, 2028.
Is it your wish to interview or to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Both appointees have been approved. That takes us to unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business? Seeing none, the next order of business is the reports of Committee for Final Action, beginning with Councilman Strasburger, presenting on the Committee of Finance and Law.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilperson Erica Strasburger presents Bill number 292, reported to Committee on Finance and Law for March 20th, 2024 with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 241, resolution amending Resolution 546 of 2023, which authorized the mayor and the director of the Office of Management and Budget to enter into an agreement or agreements with Pittsburgh Futures for professional services relating to leadership development training by increasing the authorized spend by $90,000 for a new total not to exceed cost of $207,336. And Bill number 258, resolution providing for the creation of the Mobility Enhancement District Trust Fund and setting conditions for the deposit and expenditure of such funds. This fund is for the exclusive use of funding mobility enhancements within the Mobility Enhancement District as defined in Section 550.02 of the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances.
You've heard the reading and the titles of the bills. Is there any discussion? If none, the bills are ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Would the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
The bills having received the legally required number of votes is passed finally. That takes us to Councilwoman Warwick, presenting on the Committee of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Warwick presents Bill number 293, reported to Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure for March 20th, 2024 with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 242, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement with the National Association of City Transportation Officials, Inc., to provide membership dues from January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024, not to exceed $33,125. Bill 245, resolution granting unto 2700 Penn Avenue Partners, LLC, their successors and assigns, the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense, at no cost to the city, 2 cantilevered upper-level floor plates that will extend into the right-of-way at 2700 Penn Avenue in the 6th Ward, 1st Council District. Bill 246, resolution authorizing acceptance by the City of Pittsburgh, the dedication of 2 portions of East Liberty Boulevard, 125A52, at no cost to the city, 12th Ward, 9th Council District. And Bill 247, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure to enter into an agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development's local share account for the purpose of receiving and spending grant funds in the amount of $500,000 to purchase vehicles and equipment that will be used to support DOMI's bridge maintenance efforts.
You've heard the reading and the titles of the bills. Is there any discussion? If none,
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilman Wilson?
Yes, if I may, I'd like to register an aye vote for this vote and all remaining votes.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Thank you.
If none, the bills are ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when your name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross. Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. You have heard the bills having received the legally required numbers of votes is passed finally. That takes us to Councilman Bobby Wilson presenting on the Committee of Land Use and Economic Development. Councilman Warwick for Councilman Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill Number 294, reported to Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for March 20th, 2024 with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 248, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of City Planning to apply for grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development's local share account statewide to provide funding for a voluntary buyout program in the Sawmill Run watershed. The grant proposal includes an ask of $1 million for this stated purpose.
You've heard the reading and the title of the bills. Is there any discussion? If none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
The bills having received the legally required numbers of votes is passed finally. That takes us to Councilwoman Deborah Gross presenting on the Committee of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
Mr. President,
Thank you.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill Number 295, reported to Committee on Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology for March 20th, 2024 with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 237, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Innovation and Performance on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement or agreements or amendments thereto with CDW Government LLC for a voice-over Internet Protocol Unified Communications Platform to implement convergence of systems to support citywide communications at a cost not to exceed $2,100,000 over 3 years. And Bill 238, resolution amending Resolution 843 of 2023, authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Innovation and Performance on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement or agreements and amendments thereto with Atlantis IT Consulting Group LLC as needed for an enterprise-wide warehouse supply and inventory management solution by increasing the approved amount by $540,000 for an amended total cost not to exceed $770,000 over 3 years.
You have heard the reading and the title of the bills. Is there any discussion? If none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bills will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
The bills having received the legally required numbers of votes is passed finally. And finally, Councilman Kahari Mosley presenting on the Committee of Intergovernmental Educational Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilman Mosley presents Bill Number 296, reported to Committee on Intergovernmental and Educational Affairs for March 20th, 2024 with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 239, resolution amending Resolution 15 of 2024, which authorized the cooperation agreement or agreements with the City of Pittsburgh Equipment Leasing Authority for the purchase and leasing of vehicles, equipment and accessories, equipment support, infrastructure, and professional services in fiscal year 2024 by increasing the authorized amount by $1,352,602 to a new total of $13,975,244 to account for funds omitted from the original resolution. And Bill 240, resolution authorizing a cooperation agreement or agreements providing for the transfer of funds not to exceed $500,000 to the City of Pittsburgh Equipment Leasing Authority for the purchase of bridge maintenance vehicles for use by the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure. This expenditure is associated with grant funds that the city will receive from the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development's Local Share Account Program.
You have heard the reading and the titles of the bills. Is there any discussion? If none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when your name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
The bills having received the legally required numbers of votes is passed finally. As for meeting announcements, this afternoon at 1:30, council will hold our standing committee meeting. Speaker registration will close at 12:30 p.m. today. To register to speak at this meeting, please fill out the sign-up form on the council meeting webpage or call the clerk's office at 412-255-2138. Tomorrow, Tuesday, March 26th at 2 p.m., council will hold a cablecast public hearing on Bill 169 as it relates to the historic designation of Sal's Barbershop. Speaker registration will close at 1 o'clock tomorrow. And on Wednesday, March 27th, with sessions at 1:30 and 2:30, council will hold a briefing as it pertains to deer management. To manage each session, please speak to the clerk's office as to which one you will attend. Is there anything from members? If not, motion to excuse the absent member, approve the minutes and adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.